Good morning, friends. This is Sriharsha from Crazy Ministry. Today is 4th January, and let's see what's happening in the market and what should be your positions and how you need to trade. So, if you're still not a part of my YouTube channel, go ahead, like this video, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get all the latest notifications. So, let's get started, guys. So, what happened on Friday? On Friday, as I told you very clearly, there's no big movement which actually has happened because higher level it is facing a lot of resistance, and but there's no specific clue from the European market or the US market. So any of these places there's no clue, so there's nothing much. It is more on the flat note what has happened. So now, very importantly, understand what is happening at this point of time. There's a lot of good news which are coming, and there's some actually mixed kind of news also coming. One thing is from Jan 1st onwards, the Brexit is over. So right now, the European Union and so you know very well the exit has already happened. So that whole phase is done. So that is number one. So for that news, there's no special reactions which we can expect. Now whatever reactions could be there could be on the second variant of this COVID which could happen. But for that also, if you have been seeing the news which are coming, India has already started culturing for the second variant, which is the first country to do that. Number one. Second thing is they are saying that the second variant may not actually make any big impact. We have started curing people from there. So whole thing is the sentiment which could have come down is actually being controlled. So that is number one. So that means the optimism for the market is still there. Now there's a little too much of optimism which I can say, because 14,000 level has been celebrated by all the media. That is something which would actually get in a lot of retail investors who were sitting in backseat waiting for an opportunity. They may actually jump in, and this is definitely not a good place for you to jump in, but people are going to jump in. This is how actually the whole thing is. So this happens, and this happens now. You can see OPEC has actually warned for the first quarter or so, the first half of the year. They say they're expecting lower numbers to come. They may not actually get any good volumes coming in. So what actually OPEC is a body which is more to do with the crude oil actually. The association of countries which actually produce this crude oil, they are actually talking about. So what they are saying is they are expecting less demand to come. So the overall thing is, for crude oil this is definitely negative, but what could happen is it may be still sideways at the higher level. There is a gap right now. So what is happening is that is they have actually put a clear cut thing that it may not move much higher than this. So that's one thing which you have to understand. The second most important thing is gold has started going higher. So that means there could be some amount of uncertainty which are coming out. So one of the main uncertainty could be till the 6th of January, because of the final thing which is to do with the US presidential thing. See, you in this case of what has happened in this case of election, you need to understand is the whatever votings have happened, it is for the electoral votes, and these electorals are actually going to go and decide whether it is going to be Trump or Biden who's going to actually win the election and all. So there's a lot of actually political drama happening. Trump is trying to do whatever he can to gain control, but very likely it will come back to Biden only. But this is going to create some amount of uncertainty, and probably see, generally what happens is market has rallied for a particular thing, and once that comes, so buy on rumor, sell on news. So after that, probably we may start seeing some amount of sell off also happening. So right now I feel market is going to be more on a volatile side. So it's very important for us to actually keep looking at what has to actually be done, and we need to be at this stage we better actually start booking profits and see be on sidelines waiting for the right opportunity than actually jumping and taking any big large positions. It's not actually going to make any sense whether it is on the buying side or on the selling side. We need to wait and watch for the right opportunities to arise. So that's what I can actually see. If you look at it, I we don't have any fresh clues from the US market or the European market because none of them have actually opened. Only in the first half, but somewhere around 12:30 we will actually start getting something from the European market. But if I have to look at the futures, it looks like we are going to open again a gap up. So there's a big gap of what it is trying to show, maybe around 100 points move. So if such a thing is happening, there should be some good news which is coming. And if this is a good news, is it already priced in, not priced in, we have to see, or is it a trap? So we need to actually closely wait and watch what is going to happen. Looking at the option chain, we are actually more likely to go down than go up, at least at this stage. Bears are very much in control above 14,000, 14,100 levels, and bulls are in control at 13,700 to 13,800 at this point of time. So according to what I see is, if markets are going to open on a higher node, then I would rather like to look at for the first 15 minutes. If it is not able to actually surpass the levels, and if open and high is not making any big difference, so I'll rather like to go and short the market for the intraday. Otherwise I will actually wait and watch, but I'm more interested to book my profits. So if I have any long positions right now, I'm actually keeping my long positions as less as possible. But if there is anything, I'll be more interested, because see, some good news which are coming is GST highest collection has happened. So that news is already known, and for that reactions according to me is already done. There's nothing new about that. So second thing is about the vaccine. There's some approvals which are actually happening from the Indian perspective, and some the for this US second variant of coronavirus we have actually cultured. So some vaccine related news and all actually may come in, but according to me those are already priced in. I don't see much of them. There's too much of optimism, and if I have to look at the US futures, they are quite flat. There's nothing much which I can see. Only the European futures are a little on the upside, 0.3% up, but that's nothing big. Now there's another thing which is happening is in Nikki, which is actually the Japan. We actually saw that we were able to surpass almost 27 years of high, but after that there's a big uh, selling pressure also started. Now the thing is, there's a talk on Japan saying that uh, the fresh lockdown talks are actually happening in Japan. So we need to see how well this is going to go, and otherwise overall all the markets are looking quite flat apart from Kospi, which has moved up a bit. Other than that, it is looking quite quiet, and there's nothing much which we are actually looking. See, higher, there's a very tight range on Thursday and Friday. So we moved up 13,950 to 14,000, 14,000 to 50, 14,050 on 50 point range. We are actually moved up. We are struggling to move higher, and we probably need a breathing space. So probably we may actually go down a bit before going up, is what I can see. If it is going to go up in the morning, if it is a gap up, I'll be more interested to looking at shorting opportunities than a buying opportunity. Definitely at 13,700, 800 we have a good support level, and bulls are quite strong there. I'll be more interested in that, because Bank Nifty is also having a very tight range. 13,500 600 is actually acting very strong resistance. So below 31,000, Bank Nifty is getting into a sell mode, and below 14,000 level, probably Nifty can also get into a sell mode. at least for 100 200 points move. May not be very big at this stage, but it is showing some weakness because the fall which had happened on 2 weeks back. So that fall, whatever has happened, the strength, we have still not gained the kind of strength which actually we have lost. Markets may be moving higher, stocks are not moving that great. It is actually quite stagnant, so we need to be quite careful on what we are going to buy and sell. At this point of time, I'm not looking at making any fresh new buys. I'll be rather trying to book my profits and lying sidelines and waiting for a right opportunity to arise. So that's what will be my move. And if you have been seeing, as I was telling you, gold silver have started moving higher. So I've been telling you, gold silver, it may actually move higher. They are trying to go towards their previous all-time highs, so they may actually start doing that. Crude oil still showing positive momentum, but I am not expecting much of a moment happening at the higher level. There will be selling pressure which may actually arise in the crude oil, which I can see. For the very first time, Bitcoin has surpassed 30,000. We have actually gone beyond that 33,000. It's actually on moving like crazy. It is from 10 12,000 rupee dollar range. It has actually moved up almost 2 3 times. It's moving quite a lot, and hardly within 1 or 2 months it has moved huge. It has moved too huge. And looking at the way the targets which people are talking about is somewhere around 100,000 for this. So the euphoria is very high for the Bitcoin, uh, but it is actually moved too much. Entry is a big challenge at this stage. So overall, guys, markets are definitely good. If we can hold 14,000 levels, probably we may move towards 14,100 14,200 levels. But these levels are very very strong resistance areas. So if going is not the challenge, holding these levels are a big challenge. So if we can hold these levels, then actually probably upside will open up. If we cannot hold this, now it may actually only give more strength for the bears to push the prices much lower. See, sentiments are up, but uh, uh, at the same time, this is a place as a investor to look at profit booking, and I'll be more interested to look at profit booking than looking at a fresh buying. So I would actually put a caution note for people who want to buy at this stage. Don't make any fresh buys, and if you want to buy, look for the stocks which you are ready to hold for a longer duration, because this fluctuation should not actually make you exit stocks and make a loss, because after that again it may move higher. So be careful on what positions. If you really want to buy, then I would suggest you to buy on dips. But since the market is going higher and higher, people have this FOMO habit, that fear of missing out. People want to buy. So if you want to buy, our only advice will be buy stocks which you don't want to sell. You are ready to hold for maybe years together. If that is the case, don't worry about what actually is going to happen in the market. Keep buying smaller quantities. Whenever there is a dip, you can buy a little more higher. So that's what actually the strategy you can do. Overall, actually market is definitely good. The overall, actually most of the brokerage houses, most of the research analysts are actually giving a target of around 15,000 for uh, this year for Nifty. That means we don't have much of an upside left out. Even if we move higher, there's not much upside which is left out. So for from the index perspective, stocks perspective, definitely there will be upside depending on the stock. So don't actually expect too much of movement to happen until unless we cannot actually get into a retracement mode. We may not see any big movement happening, and it is better for us to actually correct a bit. Then actually we'll gain more strength, and then we can move much more higher. So that is what I can actually see. And guys, I'm starting my new batch of pro trading system next Monday onwards, and that's going to, the timing is actually shifted now. So I'm starting from 7:30 to 8:30. So a lot of people were asking for a time at a later stage, so I'm actually starting with that. So that could be something which could be interesting for you. I'll be also starting a Kannada and a Hindi batch very shortly, but it will be more on a it will be more on live plus recording. So I'll have a recording plus live in that case. So I'll be announcing that very soon in this week. When is that happening, how it is happening, what is the timings, everything I'll be actually sharing with you very shortly. So people who are actually looking for actually taking this pro trading system, this is a time. Go ahead and take this opportunity, and the link is going to be the same which actually you have not seen what it is. Go to the playlist. The first day video is available for free of cost. And if people are actually looking at my copy trading system, the trade with tree system, I'll be sharing with you every week. I'm actually going to go live and share with you what has happened. Currently, to tell you, we are actually not making any great progress. We just started last week, and at this point of time, we are at a bit loss. So I want to share with you that we can make profits, we can make losses also. You have to understand how exactly it is happening, because the entire thing is recorded. Entire thing is actually, it's a live trade challenge which I have taken, so you can see very clearly how actually things will work, and how as a professional trader you need to work. So a lot of strategies are being shared there, and a lot of things which I'll be personally doing is actually being actually shared there. It's an immense value if you have to look at how it is. And my students are actually becoming professional day by day. Okay guys, if you have actually not liked my video, and subscribe the channel, like this video, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get all the latest notifications. And if you are still not a part of my Telegram channel, Crazy Money with Tree is the name. Go and search for it and join. Thank you very much. Have a great and prosperous day.